You speak at the front of the room for 45 minutes straight. By the end of the period, your voice is hoarse, your feet ache, and half the class has completely tuned out. There is a mechanical fix. We can shift that heavy cognitive load off your shoulders directly onto the students by utilizing a 4-step lesson plan. This relies on 3 distinct tools: a targeted reading assignment, a gamified assessment, and an active worksheet. When you implement these steps, you stop spending your physical energy trying to force attention from the room. Instead, you build a structure where students actively seek out the information themselves. Step 1 happens before the bell even rings. If you tell a class to simply read Chapter 3 for tomorrow, they won't do it. There is no actionable objective for them to complete. Instead, give them a highly specific pre-class mission. Ask 3 to 4 precise questions that they can only solve by opening the book and scanning the text. Give them tasks they can execute with a pencil. Ask them to sketch the geometric elements of a pyramid or copy down an exact formula. Tell the class that finding these specific answers is the only way they will win a game in class the next day. You are leveraging their natural desire to compete. With this approach, homework is no longer a passive chore. It becomes mandatory strategic preparation for an upcoming challenge. Step 2 is the payoff for that preparation. You open the next class with a short competitive assessment based strictly on the reading mission. You can easily load your 5 to 10 questions into accessible web platforms like Blukit, Gimkit, or Quizzes. Keep this strict. Close the game after exactly 5 to 10 minutes. If it runs any longer, it eats into the time required for the main academic lesson. This creates a sense of competitive urgency. The students who didn't read will feel a slight engineered frustration when they realize they cannot answer the questions fast enough to score points. That brief frustration proves a point. It shows the class that completing the reading is the only reliable way to win, securing their compliance for the next assignment. Now we reach step 3, the main knowledge formation phase. At this exact moment, you must resist the urge to step up to the whiteboard and lecture. This diagram illustrates a KWLH chart. It acts as a guided worksheet, providing a structure for hands-on student discovery. The first 2 columns anchor the student. They document what the student already knows about the topic and exactly what they want to find out. The final 2 columns push them forward. They record what the student actually learned during the session and how they will apply that process to solve real problems. While they fill this out, assign physical tasks. Have groups measure angles, cut shapes, and manipulate materials together. A successful room during this phase is loud. You want to hear productive chatter and students actively arguing over how to arrive at the correct solution. This active core forces them to touch the materials and discuss the process. It turns abstract formulas into concrete, retained knowledge. Step 4 defines your role in this active environment. You abandon the front of the room entirely and spend your time walking among the groups. You will feel an immediate reflex to rescue a struggling student by grabbing their pencil and solving the problem for them. You have to suppress that reflex. When a student is confused, respond exclusively with guiding questions that redirect their attention back to the source material. If they ask for the answer, ask them, "Have you compared your steps with the group next to you?" Or, "Let's look at the example on page 43 together." You can also manage the room's focus through positive discipline. Loudly praise a group that is working well, and the off-task groups will naturally self-correct to capture that same approval. Stepping back and acting as a facilitator ensures that students engage in the productive struggle. That struggle is the actual mechanism of learning. This is the complete system. You set a specific pre-class mission, run a gamified hook, guide them through an active core, and facilitate the room. The result is a classroom where students are highly engaged, teaching each other. You observe and preserve your energy. Pick just one lesson for next week to test this structure. Sit down right now and write out 3 specific pre-reading questions for that chapter. Getting students to carry the cognitive load means they are doing the real work of learning. That is how you build a self-sustaining, effective class.